Hello and welcome back to High Chronicles. My name is Angelo. If you've been following my series on remote work and the insights on the digital nomadic life, then you actually know how it opens up and how it brings about new possibilities, especially for young people. But like everything in life, remote work isn't without its challenges. Okay, today I will be, looking at some of these challenges and how you can overcome them. All right. Whether you're working remotely from anywhere in the world, in Africa, in Nigeria, or anywhere else. All right. Don't forget that remote work comes with its challenges. Okay. And I'll be telling you these challenges and the antidote for them or how to solve them. Now, before I jump in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Don't also forget to drop comments for us in the comment section, okay? So you will never miss out on my latest videos on remote job insights. Now, let's dive in. I told you earlier that today we'll be looking at the challenges of remote work and how to solve these challenges, all right? So without wasting much of your time, first on my list of challenges, I'll be giving you let's say like 6 to 7 challenges, all right, and their solutions, all right. So the first challenge that often goes unnoticed is loneliness. Yes, it's lonely, quite emotional, right? Yes, it's loneliness. Remote work can actually make you feel isolated, especially when you are used to the buzz of an office environment. All right. Now, for young people, particularly in Nigeria or in Africa, where a communal lifestyle is the norm, is the talk of the day. All right. This isolation can be, mentally taxing, very, very taxing. All right. Now, imagine you've just graduated, and instead of working in a vibrant office, you are suddenly sitting at home in front of a screen with no one to chat with during lunch breaks. I don't know how you're going to feel. So, in as much as I uphold or I advocate for remote jobs, I will not shy away from the fact that there are challenges, but I'm here to give you the solution to these challenges. A survey by Buffer found that almost 22% of remote workers experience loneliness. All right. To overcome this, create intentional social connections. You could also join remote worker communities, whether it's through Slack groups, LinkedIn, or even local Nigerian meetups for freelancers or any country that you find yourself. And digital nomads too. You could find their meetings and all and join all their communities. Okay. Now, or you could also have a remote body. That can go a long way to ease off your boredom. Okay. So you could fight isolation together, somebody who does what you do. Or better still, you can always strike up conversations with your favorite plant on your desk. Just make sure it doesn't talk back. Don't mind me. Well, all I'm saying is remote work or working from home can be very, very boring. Okay, it's one of its challenges. Boredom would love to finish you. All right, but I tell you what, there is a solution for it, and I just give you a solution. All right, join remote worker communities and all. All right, now the second challenge here is communication barriers. Okay, communication barriers. Now, communication barrier or communication, first of all, is another major hurdle, of course. Now, when you are working remotely, especially for international clients or teams, communication can become a very big challenge. Okay, for example, time zone differences, cultural gaps, and even the lack of face-to-face interaction can make things more complicated for you. All right, so communication is actually a big barrier when it comes to remote jobs. All right. You notice that Nigerians working for US or European clients can often find themselves responding to emails at odd hours, leading to miscommunication and frustration. Don't forget, we are on different time zones with the US and the UK. Although the UK is ahead with few hours or 1 hour or so. All right, so we have different time zones. All right, so according to a study by Harvard Business Review, 69% of managers are very uncomfortable with communication when managing remote teams. Okay, I told you before, time zones can be very challenging. Okay, the key to overcoming this particular challenge or this particular constraint is to adopt clear and concise communication practices. This can actually help. Now, what do I mean by that? Tools like Slack, Trello, and even Zoom would help you streamline communication. But the real trick here is setting expectations earlier enough and ensuring clarity in every interaction you have. This can also help you. Okay, don't take instructions hook, line, and sinker. Always make sure that you understand the language being given, the instruction, and the language the instruction is being given to you in. All right, that is that for that particular point, communication barrier. All right, now the third point here is trying to manage distractions like Netflix or deadlines and all. Now, working from home may sound fun, until you realize how easy it is to get. You start your day with good intentions and good objectives, but before you know it, you are taken away, or you're carried away watching Netflix, or you're taking one too many breaks from your work. All right, now let's take a look at Africa or Nigeria as a case study. Distractions can be even more amplified when it comes to Africa or Nigerian youths, because you can actually relate. Okay, now think of unexpected power outages, or even the temptation to run errands for family. This can be quite distracting. I am giving you scenarios that you can actually relate, like from where I come from. Now, to stay focused, the Pomodoro technique is an excellent time management strategy that involves walking. In fact, it involves walking intense bursts. Okay, applications like Focus Booster and all can also help you manage distractions effectively. You might also want to set up a kind of a designated workspace in your environment or in your house. Ideally, a kind of workspace without a television, or without any sort of device, or without any sort of appliance that could distract you. All right, but if you are really that into distractions and you can't resist let's say Netflix, maybe you just work remotely in a scene from the show you are watching. How about that? All right, number 4 point here is tech issues. Okay, yes, the Nigerian wahala. You should be able to understand where I'm coming from. Okay, now this particular challenge is what many Nigerians can relate to: tech challenges. Now, between inconsistent electricity and unreliable internet, remote jobs can sometimes feel like a battle, a kind of war against the elements. Okay, now what do I mean? It's not just a Nigerian issue. Okay, poor internet connectivity also affects remote workers globally, I must tell you. But here we actually face unique challenges like let's say the NEPA surprise, where electricity cuts out when you are on a video call and all right, or where network trips off or fluctuates when you're on an interview or you're on a video call with clients and all right. Now, according to a survey by TechPoint Africa, some of you say this guy loves references. Yes, I'm telling you legit stuff, so I have to give references. A survey by TechPoint Africa revealed that nearly 60% of remote workers in Nigeria have cited unreliable internet as their biggest challenge. It's not even NEPA. To overcome this, consider, let's say, investing in backup solutions like a kind of portable Wi-Fi routers or a kind of power generator. All right, it's affordable. Okay, but I'm not saying you should begin to buy these things as a novice in the remote world or in the remote working, scene. No, you have to work for some time, and I tell you what, there you can actually meet up to these challenges gradually. But if you're blessed and you could actually provide these implements or these devices, that is okay. All right. Recently, MTN and Airtel, especially Airtel, have established or have brought a new innovation, a kind of new 5G router that comes with a kind of unlimited subscription. So voila, that answers your data issues and your data problems. No more fluctuations, no more data network interruptions, and no more inconsistent data. Aside that, also plan for a kind of downtime by ensuring that your critical tasks are done during peak electricity periods. If you've been staying in Nigeria for a while, or if you've been staying somewhere around Africa or around your area, you will be able to understand the electricity availability level of your locality. All right, then you will know when there is high availability of light and all. That is that for that point. Got the solution right? The fifth point here is lack of work-life balance. I used to tell you this is, on the other end, one of the advantages of having a remote job. But here the particular challenge now. One of the ironic challenges of remote work is maintaining work-life balance. I've been saying this right from the day we began this. Since there is no clear boundary between work and home, you are at home working, obviously, many young people end up overworking themselves or not even knowing when to stop. Instead of, logging off at 5 p.m., just like the normal 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. jobs, these people find themselves responding to emails late into the night, at different, odd hours and all. Now, according to a survey by All Labs, this survey shows that remote workers are almost 25% more likely to work overtime after working hours than those in the traditional 4 to 5, 8 to 5 p.m. jobs or 8 to 4 p.m. jobs. To overcome this, you have to set clear boundaries. This is a compulsory thing. Establish a kind of routine that mimics the structure of a normal work day and abide by it. And if you're working for clients in a different time zone, make sure you communicate your availability upfront. Okay, you should also schedule downtime. Remember, the goal is to work smarter, not harder. So you should make sure you schedule your activities, and anything that you have that is not going to work according to your schedule, you let your employer know beforehand, so we don't have conflict of interests somewhere in the future. All right, that is that for that particular point. The sixth challenge here is a kind of limited career growth opportunities. Yes, climbing the ladder remotely. That's what I mean. Now, one of the less discussed challenges is the feeling that remote work can limit career growth. This is found in almost every man's lips that wants to or doesn't want to hear about remote jobs. Now, young professionals worry about missing out on promotions or professional development opportunities like workshops and all, because they are not in the office where the action is taking place. Now, don't forget, out of sight is out of mind, right? Yes, so because they are not in the traditional, working environment, most people feel that they are losing out on career growth opportunities, but that is not so. I have a very, very soft and intelligent solution for you. Now, while this can be a concern, especially in industries that traditionally value in-person interaction, many companies are gradually adapting to this. So don't take it as an excuse. It's not really an excuse. Now, let me tell you something. Companies like Zapier and GitLab, for example, offer extensive remote career development programs to ensure their employees don't feel left out. Do you now see that lots of companies are adapting to this particular challenge, okay, and the solution. Now, look for remote companies that, when you're looking for a remote job, look for those companies that prioritize professional growth and take charge of your development by attending, virtual conferences, webinars, Zoom meetings, and certifications. This can go far to aid or to aidify your career growth. And I must tell you what, you have to check well and look out for those kind of companies that have this particular provision for their employees. All right, always check it out in their company profile. Now, the 7th point here is staying motivated. This one is like the challenge of self-discipline. You have to just abide by it. Now, motivation can be hard to come by when you are not surrounded by a team to keep you accountable. You understand what I mean, right? You do things by yourself, you are accountable to yourself, and then you just submit to a higher authority. Now, remote work requires a lot of self-discipline, and this is something that many young people struggle with when they are, first starting out, or when they are just novices in the digital nomadic life. When you don't have a manager physically checking in on you and putting you on your toes, it is very, very easy to procrastinate. Do you now understand what this challenge is saying? All right, but don't panic, okay? The best way to stay motivated in this aspect is by setting small or little achievable goals and rewarding yourself for reaching them. That is self-discipline. Break your day into manageable tasks and celebrate your wins gradually, no matter how small. You've achieved something, okay? Accountability partners or project management tools like Asana can also help keep you on track. I must tell you this, okay? Now, if you would look at the way remote workers operate, you'll notice that the serious ones really create a kind, or those that are serious really create a kind of activity or a kind of timetable for themselves, or a routine check for themselves, and discipline themselves to follow this particular routine so they could meet up with work. Now, in conclusion, you have to remember always that you could always turn your challenges into opportunities, I must tell you. So because remote work has challenges does not mean you cannot turn them to opportunities. We have seen that remote work comes with its own set of challenges, all right, ranging from loneliness and communication barriers to tech issues and work-life balance struggles and all. But each challenge also presents an opportunity for growth and innovation. So by being aware of these potential obstacles, you can actually develop strategies to overcome them and make the most out of your remote work experience. Isn't that beautiful? So if you found this video very helpful, please be sure to check out our earlier episodes where we covered the benefits of remote work and how to get started in the world of remote jobs and all, okay? But don't forget to always subscribe to this particular channel if you're coming for the first time, and then don't forget to drop comments for us in the comment section, and always hit the notification bell for more tips and insights coming your way. And before I call it quits, remember, whether it's Netflix or NEPA, there is always a way to make remote work work. Yes, see you next time. Peace.